Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to Geek in the Closet, and today we are going to be looking at this Figuarts Civil War Captain America figure by Tamashii Nations Bandai. Now Captain America comes in this window box packaging over here, which features the Captain himself going head to head against Iron Man right here in the movie Captain America Civil War, of course. As you can see, the figure is clearly displayed right there together with its accessories on the side. It says here, Team Captain America, Captain America. On this side it's a product shot of the Captain's face right there, and on the back more product shots of the figure. Now here's a look at Captain America from the Civil War movie outside of the box packaging. And I believe that I have not done a review on the previously released Captain America figure, which is from the Age of Ultron movie right here. Basically because I managed to pick this two around the same time. This guy was from Japan, this guy was from Secret Base Toys, and yeah, so I figured as we go along with this video I probably like point out like certain aspects of these two figures to just make comparison rather than to make a separate review for this guy. If you guys are actually looking forward to a whatchamacallit, a sole review of this particular figure right here, I do recommend ULCFilms, because pretty much, you know, I agree with most of the things that he says. ULCFilms appearing right here, and I'll be placing the link to his YouTube channel at the description down below as well. Now, of course, as usual, before taking a closer look at the figure himself, let's have a look at the accessories. Now, obviously, this particular figure is the one which everybody is looking forward to because of how accurate his face sculpt is to Chris Evans right there, which is the movie Captain America, of course. Unfortunately, if you were to look closely into his eyes right here, it seems very pixelated because I assume that, you know, they did do digital printing and whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing as well as a bad thing, I guess. If you were to be posing him and taking photography, toy photography, I mean, he does look very good. But unfortunately, if you guys are sticklers when it comes to how detailed his eyes are and everything, yeah, this pixelated look may be a problem. This also applies to this particular Chris Evans helmetless head of his as well. But obviously, by far, this is the most accurate looking Chris Evans head sculpt I've ever seen at the moment. Gorgeous, whatchamacallit, this blonde, this brownish golden hair of his with a black wash on his hair right there. But if you were to look closely, as mentioned earlier, you will notice like the pixelated eyeballs right there. And of course, he does come with this iconic shield over here. Ugh, just give me a second over here, which is this iconic shield over here, which shares similarities when it comes to the mechanics on the back with the previous Age of Ultron shield right here. But unfortunately, I'm not too sure why did they remove the sculpt on this particular shield. I mean, on this particular shield, which is the Civil War one, because I really like how this particular detail was sculpted in there. And you will notice that this particular shield is slightly brighter compared to this one. And on the back, you will see like very similar mechanics as well. Just for this one, I gotta pull this out, and you will be able to see like the two peg holes at the back as well. Now, aside from his default hands, which is like this close-fisted hands right here, he does come with 3 more pair of hands. One of it is basically this one, which I will show you in a minute. How do you basically assemble the shield? This is basically the shield holding hands right there. If you do have like the previous Captain America figure, you'll be very familiar with these two this set of hands right here. Of course, he does come with this other set of hands, which is basically to hold the shield. It's a pretty cool mechanic over here. As you can see, a peg on his wrists on both wrists of these hands right here. And he does come with this this last pair of hands, which is like this grabby, or this normal, chill, slightly opened hands right there. Now, swapping the head, of course, it is very simple, similar to a lot of the other SH Figuarts figures. But what you have to do is basically just pop it out from its neck right there. As you can see, the whole thing comes out, and then what you're gonna do is to just peg in the alternative head right there, and it fits perfectly like so. Now for the shield mechanic, all you gotta do is pop out the hand right there, and then look for the proper hand to go in like so. But I do recommend you to use this other piece right here to go in first, and then you peg it in like so, because if you don't do that, this particular piece wouldn't be able to enter through through his fist right there, obviously. So as you can see, there's the pegs right there and the peg holes over here. You get the idea. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know how to peg these in. Right there. And what I've noticed actually between this one and the previous shield, Captain America shield from the Age of Ultron right here, is that these pegs are actually fitted better compared to the previous one. Because what happened was, these pegs for the previous Captain America did not really fit too well. So what happened to my figure was basically it kind of like broke off like so. It was actually a pretty disappointing thing. But oh well. This is basically how you swap the arms to fit in the shield. Now that's not the only thing that you can do with the shield, because you can actually fit it on the back right here as well. This particular small piece, I do recommend you to take very good care of this, because I'm pretty sure it will get lost if you do not. And what happens on the back is that we are trying to peg the shield on his back. So what you're gonna do is just basically peg this particular piece inside, and then just peg this particular fella on the back. And there you go. It fits perfectly on his back, like right there. Oh, additionally, you do have like these pieces, these strap pieces over here as well. So what you can do is you peg in whichever strap on the back. I really do not know how to work this. Oh yeah, there you go. On the no, that's not the one. On the back like so, to make it seem like to cover up these peg holes right there, something like that. You get the picture. And one more thing you can do with the shield is, as mentioned before, you can actually pull this particular pose, right, whereby Captain America holds the shield like so. So what happens is that this piece over here, you got to change this hand, and then there's this particular piece right here which pegs in right there, and then basically from this angle you won't be able to see that plastic piece right there. So this is a very cool pose. Captain America probably grabbing hold of his shield, catching his shield, or just basically holding it downwards like so. Now, having a closer look at both Captain America figures side by side, we can determine that both body molds are different. I'm not too sure whether if it's just me or not, but this Civil War Captain America body mold seems to be a little bit more bulkier compared to the Age of Ultron one. But that's just, I'm not too sure whether if that's entirely accurate, but because that's just me. Certain aspects of the uniform are totally different in terms of the sculpting on this particular part right here, on his stomach right here, and the one on the Civil War, the design is different as well. You can actually determine certain parts on this Age of Ultron figure are actually painted, and on this Civil War Captain America, it is in, like, for an example, the buckles on this shield holster thingy-majiggy right here. As you can see, it's painted in silver. Unfortunately for this Captain America Civil War figure, it's just basically a flat brown paint over there. You will determine, like, you'll be able to see that on his chest area right here, this red design over there on his arms. They do share, like, the same Avengers logo on his shoulder guards right there, but his arms are totally different because this one comes in with a glove, which is slightly further up compared to this, the Civil War one right there. Moving downwards, looking at his belt area right here, totally different belt sculpts altogether. As you can see, the pouches as well. This one on the Civil War Captain America is just basically flat brown, whereby you can actually see, like, certain aspects of this particular pouch. These pouches are actually painted with this silver paint. So here's a look on the back right there. As you can see, different paints. There's more red on this particular figure compared to this one. It's just a flat blue on the back. Now, personally, I actually prefer this design, this Age of Ultron design, compared to this one, because I actually like the how the red parts are actually included on this particular figure. It seems a little bit more cooler compared to this Civil War figure over here. Now, moving downwards, you can actually see the boots. Both boots are different colored. As you can see, this one is slightly grayish. It's just basically a flat gray matte paint on the boots of this particular Civil War figure, and on this guy is actually brown with a little bit of red painted in there as well. And no peg holes at the bottom of both feet. Now, something to take note of, I'm not too sure whether if it's just my particular figure, not this particular figure, but this Age of Ultron figure right here. His shoulder thingy pops up relatively very easily, like so. Something to be mindful of is that hopefully this particular part, this piece is actually okay. It's actually fit in very well, and hopefully you guys do not encounter such problems with this particular Civil War Captain America figure, whereby this piece pops off or this piece pops off. Now, in terms of articulation, Captain America is able to turn his head left and right, up and down with no problems whatsoever. Just a little bit, you know, somewhat his downward movement of his neck right here is not really impressive, but there's definitely movement right there. He does have his iconic SH Figuarts neck joint right there as well. Now, his arms are able to move upward this much. However, this particular shoulder guard is not able to move down, it is not able to cover his arms 100%, as compared to, like, the previous one, it's actually very well covered, like so, as you can see. So just pointing that out, it's not really a big problem for me, because as I am posing these figures, I'll probably be able to fix that up, you know, and not include it in the shot. He does have a bicep swivel right here. Is that a bicep swivel? Yep, that's definitely a bicep swivel right here. He does have that single hinged elbow right there. He does have the swivel on his wrist, and it hinges as well. He does have this particular ab movement right there, which is great. He does also have this waist movement as well. It's not just a swivel, but it's able to move like so, which is awesome. He's able to do the splits this much, which is great, and there's actually his hinged ball joint right there as well. And he does come with this particular single oh my god, single oh my god, single hinged knee. My English going down the drain today. He does not have a boot cut right there. He has a swivel on his ankles. It pivots and it hinges, and it's able to move up and down, and he does have toe articulation as well. Now here's a look at the Civil War Captain America next to the SH Figuarts Hulk figure, my favorite Hulk figure ever, and together with this SH Figuarts Thor figure. I really hope that we are getting another Thor, because this dude is, the face is really problematic. And now here's a look at Captain America next to Darth Vader and Darth Maul. Now ultimately, I think that this Captain America Civil War figure is a great figure. I love that accuracy of how he looks with Chris Evans, the actor, and I believe that what makes this particular figure great is also because it shares very similar qualities with the Age of Ultron Captain America figure in terms of the shield mechanics and whatsoever. So I think that it comes down to whether, if this particular figure, would I prefer this one, or would I prefer the Age of Ultron Captain America figure? I think overall I would still choose the Age of Ultron Captain America, just because I'm not really a fan of the movie version of any Marvel comic book characters whatsoever. So, and I actually really like how this particular head sculpt is. This yelling head sculpt, it gives this particular figure a lot of personality, especially when it comes to toy photography. You know, this particular head sculpt is just great. So that's it for my review, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would really love to hear what do you think about this new Civil War Captain America figure, and which one do you prefer? Would you lean towards the Age of Ultron Captain America figure, or would you like this particular newer Chris Evans looking Captain America over here? So do let me know. So please do not forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace.